Hi there, folks! As you know, Bayern Munich had a roller coaster last season in all tournaments. It lacked Robert Lewandowski, the newcomers failed to deliver, and everyone was totally baffled by the change of coach in March. Eventually, in the summer, the Bavarians have already started substantial work on previous mistakes. Today, we are gonna take a look at how Bayern will look in the 2023-24 season, and why they will once again achieve a single-handed dominance in Germany. Are you all comfortable? Alright, let's get started! This section should be kicked off not with football players, but with two high-profile dismissals. Oliver Kahn is no longer Bayern CEO, and Hasan Salihamidzic is no longer the club's sporting director. Moreover, Die Ratten fired them in the most telling way possible, right during the celebration of another championship title. Jan Christian Driesen has already been appointed to replace Kahn, but the new sports director has not been named yet. However, it is already known for sure that the legendary Karl-Heinz Rummenigge was brought back to the board of directors. Like in the good old days, this shadowy figure of the latter was notably involved in negotiations on behalf of the club. So far, only one Bayern performer has been sold for money, though the whole deal was sealed as profitably as could be. Lucas Hernandez, who only had 1 year left in his contract but was valued at 45 million euros nevertheless, joined PSG. At one time, Munich paid Atletico Madrid for his services as much as 80 million euros. So, it was necessary to earn some money. Two more defenders have also parted ways with Munich. However, unlike Hernandez, they both spent only 6 months at the Allianz Arena. Joao Cancelo returned to Manchester City from a loan deal. The winter arrival of Daley Blind in a 6 months contract was a terrible decision. The 33-year-old Dutchman made 5 appearances and then left for Girona on a free transfer. 20-year-old centre-back Bright Airy MB showed high hopes a few years ago, but Bayern have already released him for free to Hanover. The Munich-style overhaul is just the beginning. Very soon we're about to see even more news about transfers out from the Bundesliga champions. Seems like their goalkeeper Jan Sommer will be the next to pack his bags. The Switzerland international came to Munich after Manuel Neuer's impressive display at skiing. The representative of Borussia Mönchengladbach was Bayern's first choice option for half a year, but mind the soon return of Neuer, who will take his place in goal even with Courtois in the team. No wonder, because Neuer is more than just a goalkeeper for Bayern. He is a leader and a symbol. Of course, Sommer is too good to be a substitute anywhere else. Talks are popping up about Inter's interest in buying him for 6 million euros in order to replace Andre Onana. The same applies to another goalkeeper of theirs, Alexander Nubel. He had a 2-year loan spell at AS Monaco, thus the Bavarians did not count on him much. The main contenders for his services are Stuttgart. Marcel Sabitzer, who spent the last season's second half on loan at Manchester United, will definitely quit Bayern. Tuchel doesn't see the Austrian in the team's plans, and AS Roma have already opened talks regarding a loan deal with the right to buy. There are lots of discussions surrounding the possible departure of Ryan Gravenberch, whose transfer so far resembles Renato Sanchez's story. AC Milan, Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool and Arsenal are among interested sides. The same goes to another Ajax player who came a year ago, Noussair Marzaoui. The Moroccan did not exceed expectations in Munich with only 19 Bundesliga appearances, 11 of which as a starter. So far, only Juventus are showing interest in his persona. Benjamin Pavard could follow Lucas Hernandez's path. The French defender also has a year left on his contract, while Thomas Tuchel doesn't count on him anymore. There have been rumors circulating on Barcelona's pursuit since last summer, and now Inter Milan, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Manchester United and AC Milan have joined the race. Everything comes down to the fact that Pavard will definitely not be playing at Bayern by the end of the summer. But the main intrigue for Die Ratten summer campaign lies in the following question: will Sadio Mane stay in the team or not? The Senegalese, who has always been perceived as a prime example of discipline and polite behavior for quite a while, has unexpectedly become the initiator of a scuffle with Leroy Sané after the humiliating defeat to Man City in the Champions League first leg. This scandal completely ruined the atmosphere within the dressing room. Therefore, Mane ceased to be a regular player of the first team. Right after the fight, a bunch of insiders notified that Mane was put up for transfer list. The main contenders for the 31-year-old striker is considered to be Saudi Pro League outfit Al Ahly. They seriously intend to reunite the Mane-Firmino duo there, but they must take into account a little nuance. Mane is not going anywhere. The ex-Liverpool star is determined to show his best at the Allianz Arena for at least one more year. However, negotiations are still ongoing. And now is the perfect time to give this video a like, and write in the comments below what do you think Bayern should do with Mane. Moving on. At the beginning of the summer, there were wild rumors over Joshua Kimmich's move to Barcelona, but one should realize at this point that due to financial struggles, instead of Kimmich, the Catalans may eventually get Oriol Romeu. A lot was also written about Real Madrid's attempts to sign Alphonso Davies, but this particular summer deal has almost zero chance to happen. The situation may change in a year, but not now. The most surprising news of the summer revolved around Bayern's dissatisfaction with Leon Goretzka. Not to mention his assumed links with Borussia Dortmund, who aimed to sign him as Bellingham's replacement. Nevertheless, we will believe in this chit-chatting only when we see Leon in a yellow and black shirt. Bayern have a tradition of signing footballers from Bundesliga teams that are their competitors as free agents. This was the case with Robert Lewandowski, Leon Goretzka, Alexander Nubel, Claudio Pizarro, and many others. In recent years, Die Ratten were moving away from this rule, but have recently decided to return to the old ways. Back in winter, Bayern sealed the free agent move of Konrad Laimer, the key central half from RB Leipzig. The Austrian was doing a very good job not only as a midfielder, but as a right back too, and that's what intrigued Bayern bosses the most. Think of him as a low-key Joshua Kimmich. However, the Bavarians managed to surprise everyone with its second signing. The arrival of Rafael Guerreiro from Borussia Dortmund was taken as an absolute win-win deal. The Portuguese has adapted to the Bundesliga, is able to completely replace Alphonso Davies, and his last season at Dortmund in particular showcased him as a top-notch central half. So far, Bayern have not paid much money for footballers this summer, but we already know for sure that Napoli's key centre-back Kim Min-jae is already welcomed in Munich. The Korean has undergone his medical checkup, and Fabrizio Romano wrote the iconic "Here we go." By the way, the German Goliaths were able to win the battle for the Korean against Manchester United. Interestingly enough, one of last season's best defenders was recruited for a relatively small amount of money, having the release clause of 45 million euros. Bayern's main goal lies in acquiring a new centre-forward who would finally replace Robert Lewandowski. The Munich team were late to solve the problem last summer, and as a result, starters with 16 Bundesliga goals became the best scorers, and Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting was the team's main striking force. Bayern bosses hoped to correct their mistake by signing a truly elite striker, Harry Kane. For the sake of this transfer, the Munich team is willing to equal or even break its transfer record of 80 million euros. Kane wants to represent Bayern. Bayern want Kane. Tuchel wants Kane, but Daniel Levy demands a whopping 120 million euros, despite Spurs' main star having only 12 months left in his contract. If they fail to bring in Kane, Bayern always have the option of taking a top forward from one of their rivals. We are talking about Eintracht Frankfurt and France international striker Randal Kolo-Muani. He definitely got on Munich's radar at some point, so it would have been much easier to choose him as the next big thing. Another option is seen in Victor Osimhen. Napoli will definitely slap a high price tag for their leader, but the negotiation process may be eased by the fact that the Nigerian's girlfriend is a German who wants to come back to her homeland. Bayern's last option is Dusan Vlahovic. The deal looks the simplest to pull off, as the Serbian wants to leave Juventus and the White and Blacks are in dire need of money. The next goal is in signing a new understudy for Manuel Neuer. In this case, Bayern are already very close to landing Georgi Momardashvili, a young goalkeeper from Valencia. The Georgian had a great performance last season and shone at the Euro 2021. By and large, throw Neuer's pair of skis at me if you think that Momardashvili in his prime is much worse in quality than Mano. A great pick for the Die Ratten roster. Unbelievable even. Sure, Bayern badly need a new right back. Luckily, the Munich side is already very close to acquiring the extremely experienced Man City regular Kyle Walker for 15 million euros. What's more, Bayern are willing to provide a 2-year contract to him. A great choice to make, especially after several years of lack of consistency in this slot. Besides, Thomas Tuchel would like to buy a new centre-half who will replace Gravenberch. There have been a lot of rumors on the matter, but nothing specific was said or done yet. Calvin Phillips, Kefren Thuram, Sofyan Amrabat, and even Marco Verratti are among options in. Looks like Bayern haven't done any active work regarding the signing of these guys so far. Okay, just look at this killer lineup Bayern may have next season. Neuer, Davies, De Ligt, Kim Min-jae, Walker, Lamer, Kimmich, Musiala, Coman, Gnabry, and Kane. The following players will be placed on the bench: Mamardashvili, Upamecano, Stanisic, Guerreiro, Goretzka, Sané, Mane, Müller, Choupo-Moting. As for youngsters, we could expect to have Mathys Tel, Paul Warner, and Aryan Ibrahimovic getting their next big chance. On this note, we would like to say goodbye to you for a very short time. Subscribe to our project so you won't miss new episodes about other big clubs in the world. Take care, and see you next time.